when I got into self-improvement, I thought discipline, waking up early, grinding 24/7, 365 was the answer to all my answers, to all my questions. But as I got deeper, I had it all wrong. Here are the three things that I wish someone had told me before I got into self-improvement. And hopefully they can help you as well so that you can avoid what I did, so that you don't have to step into the holes that I had to step in, so that you can actually, you know, achieve success way quicker. Even I can achieve success way quicker. This is just my message to, myself or anyone out there who is in my position, even though you haven't achieved any kind of success yet. But it's really good to identify what not to do instead of just what to do. You know what I mean? So, enjoy. Point number one, self improvement can also become self hate. If you're always trying to, improve yourself, but if you're not careful, it can actually become a trap to a point where you don't even feel worthy of doing anything. You don't even feel like you deserve it. Just because you're hating yourself, you hear all the gurus on social media telling you to grind 24/7 and to basically just torture yourself as much as you can in order to achieve success. But is it actually worth it when you actually take that route? When you're actually destroying yourself, harming yourself, and potentially others? Because when you're harming yourself, you're not at your best, or to yourself and to other people, to the people that actually matter in your life. So before indulging into self-improvement, realize the difference between actually improving yourself and just borderline hating yourself, period. So the big lesson you should actually learn here is to start from self-acceptance and not from self-rejection. Don't think that you are not worthy, because our brains cannot tell the difference between truth and fiction. So when you tell yourself that you're not worthy, your brain actually finds reasons to believe why that is true. Just like how if you tell yourself that you are worthy, your brain starts to believe why you are actually worthy. This goes back to the matter of trusting your own and believing your own opinion about yourself over others. Because when you take in other people's opinions of you, your brain starts to believe that your brain finds the reason why that is true. That's why to you, you actually think that, hey, they're right, but they're not actually right, because no one knows you just like you do. Not your friends, not your, trust me, definitely not your parents, but you know you more than anyone knows you. So it's way better to believe your opinion on about yourself than to believe another person's opinion about yourself. You know what I mean? So it's way better to do that. The second lesson I wish someone had told me about self-improvement is discipline without systems will literally burn you out. Now, what is discipline? Discipline is simply doing the things that is required for you to achieve your desired goal, no matter how you feel about it. Discipline is more of a commitment, more than just a title. Because you can say you're disciplined about going to the gym and losing weight, but if you're going to the gym once a week, are you actually disciplined about it? No, you're not committed. You're interested. So what I mean by that is, discipline without systems is literally shooting ourselves in the foot. Because discipline isn't just about grinding every single day. You know what I mean? Because when you actually put systems in place, you actually follow a specific routine in order to achieve a certain goal. Let's just say, going back to my point, you want to lose weight, or if you're a guy, you want to gain some muscle. So you actually find that by doing that, you have to go to the gym on a consistent basis. So you find that you have to go to the gym 6 times a week. So you set a system and say, okay, on Monday I do arms, on Tuesday I do legs, on Wednesday I do chest. This is a system that you actually must follow and must be committed to it in order to achieve your desired outcome. So what this simply means is, if you don't have a system in place and you're just grinding yourself to death, you will achieve nothing. That's the realization I had because of, there's a specific mentor I really follow on social media. His name is Alex Hormozi. I'm sure most of you guys know him. And his wife, Leila Hormozi. So they are my virtual mentors, even though I haven't met them yet, But, what I simply mean is, discipline without any systems that we place is just a recipe for a disaster. If you know that you want to, if I know, for example, I'll even use myself. I have a goal of achieving 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. That might not happen. That might happen. But The system I actually put in place is I have to post a minimum one video a week. That's the system that I've actually put in place. And a system enables commitment. Because discipline without system isn't commitment. You're just interested. You just like the title. So I actually implement a system so that I know what to do. I know what to follow in order to achieve my desired outcome. It's that simple. But it's not easy. And by discipline, and when you actually have a system in place, you don't have to rely on motivation or how you feel. Because there's a famous quote wrote by Leila Homozi that I will never forget, and is a mantra that I live by every single day. Is to I don't usually like vulgar words, but for the sake of this quote, I will say it. And that quote goes, "Fuck your mood, follow the plan." And what that simply means is screw how you feel about it. Screw how motivated or unmotivated you feel about it. If your goal is to actually build muscle and you don't want to go to and you don't feel like going to the gym, well, that is where losers and winners are separated, because winners do what it takes no matter how they feel about it. You know what I mean? So just like me, I don't always feel like recording a video every day, but I know I have to do it. I have to screw my feelings on how I feel about doing a video because I have a goal. I have a goal to achieve. And that goal, I'm going to achieve it whether I feel good about it or not. So our feelings are an unreliable source of what we should do, because we shouldn't lead with feelings. We should always lead with actions, because feelings follow actions, not the other way around. So discipline. So in that way, you don't have to rely on motivation. Because I once did a video, by the way, on the difference between motivation and discipline. So you might check that out. The link will be in the description. But the key takeaway here is to implement systems and follow that. By that, you become more disciplined and committed and increase the likelihood of us achieving our goals. It's literally that simple. So if you just be disciplined, if you just grind all day without an actual system on how you're actually going to do things, we are just going to drown ourselves, literally. So it's better to implement systems so that we can actually be committed to what we want to achieve. Oh, and comment down below what's something that you are currently busy with, and you are currently wanting to become committed on something you're working on. You know what I mean? Something like that. The third tip on what I wish someone would have told me before I ventured into self-improvement is, it's not about doing more, but it's about being more. We can read books all day. We can take cold plunges all day. We can take cold showers. We can consume all the content all day. But if there isn't an identity shift within ourselves, nothing will stick. Otherwise, it's just information overload. Then we don't do nothing about it. Because I recently watched a video by Alex Hormozi, a podcast by Alex Hormozi, and he said, if the greatest way to learn is by implementing and through action, not just theory. Because if you touch a stove and it's hot, because he basically described it as same conditions, different outcome. So what it means is, if a stove is hot and you put your hand on the stove, you're going to immediately remove your hand, and then you're going to know that, oh, I'm not supposed to touch that because it's hot. Same conditions, different outcome. So what this basically means is, we should actually prioritize taking action over just theory in of itself, because we learn more by acting, not just by theory. Now I know this is rich coming from me, because I haven't achieved anything successful yet. But what I do know is that taking action has taught me a lot more than just theory. And that's something that school doesn't teach us. Because in life, you take the action and then have the lesson. But in school, you have the lesson and they take the action. But that's a different topic. So it's way more important to it's not enough to just chase routines. but it's actually more valuable to build character, to actually change ourselves into the person we want to be, to embody the person that we aspire to be one day in the future. So these are basically all the 3 tips that I wish someone have told me before I indulge in self-improvement or started consuming self-improvement content. Because if we don't build our basis on this, none of it actually matters anymore. So thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to click the subscribe button and comment below the most valuable tip you have from today's video. And thank you a lot for 100 subscribers. The road to 200. We're very close. But point is, thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and like and share and comment if you want. And I will see you in the next one. Oh, damn.